I'm joined today by our visiting scholar, Dr. Steve Willing, and we're talking about critical thinking, Christian character. Steve, we live at a time where there is a lot of tribalism, there is a lot of dogmatism among Christians, among non-Christians. Is there something that can kind of help us to be more reflective? You talk about open-minded thinking. What does that involve, and how can that be helpful to us?
Well, in a sense, we all kind of think we know what it is because we hear open-minded thinking all our lives and intuitively think we have a solid grip on that. Because of what we call a biased blind spot and because of our own self-interest, we're very good at detecting when other people don't do it. We're not so good at detecting when we're not doing it ourselves.
Sure.
Open-mindedness doesn't mean not having any convictions. It doesn't mean admitting you might be wrong about everything, but it certainly requires a certain level of humility, just recognizing your own limits and thinking of other possibilities. When faced with a problem, not just going with the first solution that pops into your head, but considering other solutions. When you're faced with a philosophical argument, not just going with your gut and embracing the one that you like the most or that has the greatest appeal, but honestly and analytically looking at other possibilities as well. As I mentioned in the earlier podcast, good thinking is effort. Good thinking takes work, and we tend not to want to do it. But even open-mindedness takes a certain amount of effort. You have to be willing to invest that effort. Open-mindedness is also something of a character and personality trait, because the psychologists now are talking about the big 5 personality traits. Some of these are introversion, extroversion, but one of the big 5 is called openness to experience, the willingness to experience new things. So it's not simply open-mindedness with respect to beliefs or ideas, but also to experiences and things that you're willing to go out and do in life.
So from a Christian point of view and the growth in character, I detect in myself a tendency to minimize my faults and maybe maximize the faults of others. So this open-mindedness is partly being open to alternative perspectives. It's again not going with your fundamental idea or your favorite idea, but giving careful consideration to possible alternatives. Is that correct?
That sounds like a good summary of the situation. Yeah, the 2 major categories would be both your beliefs and your experience of living life, how you experience openness.
Now again, let's bring an issue that I think is very relevant. Christians care not only about making good arguments, but they also care about growth in character. I've seen that the issue of pride is often something almost only Christians speak about, whereas non-Christians might think pride is a good thing. But here we're giving consideration, and again, if I can bring in the expression, the golden rule of apologetics, it is treating other people's beliefs the way you want yours treated, in a fair-minded, or a reasonable, a gracious way. That seems consistent with this idea of open-minded thinking.
Certainly, as Christians, we're expected to maintain a certain level of civility, and we tend to give ourselves a great amount of credit. Because we instinctively feel like all of our beliefs are objectively based on facts, reason, and experience, then we assume that anybody who disagrees must be erring in one of those categories. It must be they're erring in their facts, their experience, or their reason. And so we set upon ourselves to correct that error. There's 2 problems with that. First, we misjudge our own personal integrity. We underestimate the degree to which other factors may have contributed to our beliefs, and we overestimate the degree to which those have influenced other people. But everybody's beliefs are based on a multitude of factors, and rather than judging them for committing some error of logic or willful ignorance, we should treat them the way we want to be treated.
Thus, again, the golden rule.
Exactly.